This is Outlandish Zicky Dice, and you're watching the best of old school and new school. This is the Nation Network. Outlandish.
We welcome everyone back here to the Nation Network and wish you all a very happy holiday. Happy Easter to everyone as we get ready for a very special annual event, the Holiday Classic. In this case, we are going to crown the first ever Cruiserweight champion here at Ultra Pro Wrestling as we take a look at the brackets and we get ready to get started. It is truly the who's who, and picking a winner right now would be almost impossible, but if you had a favorite, who would it be?
Well, I tell you right now, you look at this bracket and you see a lot of names in there, including some outside action. We got Axiom making an appearance. Never seen him before here. Reggie showing up. We have never seen him before here. But everybody else we're a little bit familiar with right here, and they have the home field advantage. And for that reason, I believe, going with my gut, I think tonight is the night Americana steps up and walks away with gold.
Well, indeed, he's going to be one of the favorites. We're going to see all of this action right here unfold before your eyes. This is Ultra Pro Wrestling. All right, the bell sounds. Action is underway. Aguila X and Axiom tying up early on. Of course, the Cruiserweight division, 205 pounds or less.
And that normally means a lot of high-flying action, very fast. Take nothing away from these guys, though. We see them go up against some of the big heavyweights and do very well.
Well, that speed factor always helps give them that advantage over the bigger athletes, but tonight it's going to be very even matchups as you take a look at Aguila coming off the ropes with the springboard.
And Axiom just got a wake-up call. Welcome to Ultra Pro.
Missile drop kick from the top. Some high-impact wrestling early on in this one, and I'll tell you, here's the thing to remember. Whoever wins this match has at least one more match.
Well, if you get to the finals, you're going to have 4 matches. And yeah, it's all in one night. You get banged up in the early rounds, and you got to carry that all the way through to the end. It's going to probably put you in a less than compromised position, I would think.
Axiom now sending Aguila into the turnbuckle, trying to turn the tempo of this one around, and at the moment seems to be accomplishing that. Nice block that time by Aguila. Had the cradle plex, could not hold on to it, however. Want to welcome everyone joining us here live on the Nation Network. Killshot, Matt Storm in the house, along with Keith O'Toole.
Well, we found out about this event. We knew that it was going to be special because it's the first ever of an annual holiday classic to be.
Going for the cover, hooking the leg, and got two. Axiom right now going to have to try and find something to turn the tempo of this one before he gets away from him, because right now Aguila X doing a tremendous job of handling this outsider. Springboard Hurricane Rana. And now going to work on the hand.
Stomping away on that hand of Aguila. Axiom, I beg your pardon, by Aguila.
Frog splash connects. He hooks the leg. That might be enough. And it is. Aguila X is going to advance to the next round.
Well, that was truly an impressive outing right here. You want to make a statement? Not a better way to do it that I can think of.
Fans, stick around. Plenty of action still to come right here on the Holiday Classic. This is Ultra Pro Wrestling.
Join us right here exclusively on the Nation Network, Monday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Ultra Pro Wrestling Control Center Update.
This game would be getting done regardless of money. This game's been in development. It started 7 years ago.
Get all the latest news directly from the developer himself, Sam, on what's going on with Ultra Pro Wrestling.
To have the online mode where the player who's the champion has to defend their title at least once a week, you said, right?
I don't know why no other games have done it before.
Has any of Millenbread's breakdown of the old AKI mechanics on Twitter brought new information or light in terms of gaming balancing?
These are all Melon Bread's tweets. So absolutely, he's somehow been able to see under the hood in some way.
It's like a roadmap that you don't have to go out and figure out where the roads are, putting a map yourself. Somebody's giving you the map. The momentum keeps on building up, and now more people are excited about it. And part of the reason for that, for sure, is our next guest, who is joining us here today. You guys know him. This is Hal Haney, the man behind the artwork. Artwork, I'm going to guess, started when you were, what, 5, 6, 4?
Oh, before that, it's, as soon as I could hold a crayon, it just kind of happened. Like, I was a stay-at-home dad for several years. I needed something to help contribute grocery money and things like that. So I started making wrestling art at the kitchen table.
When will the next run of gameplay footage be released?
Not for a while, because everything that we're doing right now is creating animations.
Leave your questions on this channel. Go to our community tab and post your question as we count down the development of the wrestling game we have all been waiting for, Ultra Pro Wrestling.
All right, fans, we are back once again. Ready for the next big matchup here in this Cruiserweight tournament.
Championship first round match. Making his way to the ring from Tijuana, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
One half of one of the hottest tag teams we have in Ultra Pro Wrestling. We are talking about one and only La Corona.
You see La Corona making the gesture that the championship title is going to be around his waist.
Well, I definitely wouldn't say it's not going to be around his waist, but this is only step one in the road to get into the finals here tonight. Will he be there? We will find out.
Going to have one heck of a first round opponent here tonight.
Weighing in at 205 pounds.
Kiki Ramirez entering the arena, getting ready for combat here in the first round.
Kiki has done really well for himself. He is fighting in his weight class tonight. That's not something he often has the opportunity or the luxury of doing.
Well, that's one thing that every competitor here tonight will have in common, that they are all going to be less than or maximum of 205 pounds.
That's right, 205 or less to get into this tournament. One of these guys going to walk away with a very, very nice looking championship.
Referee calls for the bell. Action underway, and here we go with our first round matchup here tonight. Corona with a series of elbows right upside the head, and Ramirez in trouble, taken down. Springboard off the middle rope, connects with a drop kick, perfectly done. Timing was right on.
La Corona has perfect timing, and he does this so often. He can take high-risk maneuvers, and if anyone's going to take the high risk out of a high-risk maneuver, it's probably him. His connect percentage is way up there. Been doing this since he was a very young man in his home country of Mexico.
Oh, look at the springboard! Ramirez, the Puerto Rican native who spent years training in Mexico, considers himself of the luchador style. And now going to work on La Corona in the corner. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg. The referee's there for the count, gets a 1. And La Corona able to come out the back door.
Once again, I want to welcome everybody joining us here live on the Nation Network as we see Kiki going for a cover. I'm a problem in the house.
Irish whip into the turnbuckle he goes. Drop kick connecting right here. And now ties him up. And he has got the abdominal stretch, but look at how he uses that right leg for added leverage.
Kiki's in a whole lot of pain right now, man. His ribs are stretching in ways they weren't meant to. Not just about the pain, it's also about the fact that when you start pulling ligaments off of there, you're not going to want to breathe.
In the meantime, La Corona has him up. The Diablo Buster connecting and now going for the cover. And it's enough for a big win.
Well, for Kiki Ramirez, the dream ends right here, right now. What a devastating maneuver that is.
Well, we're used to seeing him in tag team action, but he did really well here tonight.
He did, and there's plenty more to come.
We talk about how these tournaments have lingering effects match to match, but he didn't take much damage in that one. We are ready for the action already. These gentlemen not wasting any time. Dewey Jobs with a DDT on Americana.
Nice move right there by Americana to get out of trouble.
Senton splash, and Dewey is down. Hook of the leg, will that be enough?
Early on in the match, but I can tell you right now, Dewey is going to find himself on the receiving end of some punishment here.
Backstabber perfectly done, and Americana once again going for the cover. The ropes right there.
Americana, you know what? He's a different kind of dude, no doubt about it. We talk about luchador style. He was raised in the luchador style.
Indeed, he is a Mexican national, no doubt about that. Caught perfectly. However, has found himself completely enamored by all things that are American.
Loves America, loves everything about it. Makes his home here in America now.
Well, he was going for broke on that one and came up short now. Dewey Jobs gonna make him pay a little bit. Oh, look at this nice return with that ankle sweep. Springboards off, and he missed the buckshot elbow. Dewey with the back elbow to get himself out of trouble, at least momentarily. He'll go for the suplex right here. Americana is up. Comes back the other side. Cradle roll up, and there's the bridge. Shoulders are down. Will that be enough?
Dewey keeps on finding a way to survive.
Dewey locking up with Americana. It looked like he was trying to bring him towards perhaps a turnbuckle.
Well, easier said than done. You're not going to control this man if he doesn't want to be controlled.
Whoa, what a move, and Dewey may be done.
You could see the lights turn out.
Americana now with the Irish whip reversal. Slides through. What's he got in mind here? Comes right back in with a clothesline.
And now some words of wisdom perhaps being imparted on Dewey Jobs.
Big Hurricane Rana once again, and now going all the way up to the top rope. Nobody home.
He really thought it was over there. I thought it was over there, to be honest. And now they are just exchanging blows.
Dewey Jobs takes him over with a suplex, and now Americana paying the price.
Well, I don't think there's anybody really expecting Dewey to come out on top of this one based on his win-loss record, which, if you're not following along, is 0 wins.
Roll through, has him. Sit down bomb, shoulders are down, will that be enough? And Dewey managing to get out, but just barely.
Wasn't even much of a kick out, it was more of a survival.
German suplex taking him over, and once again, Dewey paying the price. Oh, springboard into a splash on the floor.
Americana is not going to let him off the hook, not for a moment.
He's back up again. Missile drop kick connects.
Snapman now taking him over, going to work on the neck.
Americana all the way up. Oh, he caught him that time. And he will advance.
That was a very impressive win for Americano that time out. We take a look at some of the moments from this one leading up to it.
That was the first attempt at the Patriot missile. Missed on the first, connected on the second, and will advance to the next round here in the tournament. More action still to come. Stay with us.
You will never pin me. Now it's everybody's favorite time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we continue with first round action here.
Is a championship first round match. Making his way to the ring from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 180 pounds, Reggie.
Well, we take a look here at Reggie. Not sure what to make of this guy.
Well, an impressive entrance. We'll see if he can back that up once the bell rings.
Definitely looks all business.
And his opponent from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
Los Jesus. We saw his tag team partner earlier on tonight, La Corona.
Be very interesting if the two of them made it to the finals, would it not?
Well, that would be a match that I definitely want to see. Bell sounds, action's underway. Reggie going to work with a series of boots to the midsection. There's the Irish whip. Catches them with a back elbow. And I'll tell you one thing, Reggie getting off to a very quick start here. Los Jesus managing a kick out, but Reggie right back on top of the action.
Well, one thing about Los Jesus is he likes Los Pesos. And if he wants pesos, he's going to have to win.
Oh, Reggie landing on the floor and right into the attack of the luchador madman himself. Sends him crashing towards the steps. Senton splash on the floor, and the referee count continues.
And it should be noted, you can be counted out in a match, and that's it. Your night's over. You can be disqualified. Your night is over.
Reggie thought about perhaps a little bit more, but heard the count reaching 6. Did not want to take the chance on being counted out, to the point you made moments ago.
Well, Los Jesus manages to get back in time as well. Reggie, though, with a Hurricane Rana.
Drops him with a DDT, going for the cover, hooks a leg. Jesus gets his shoulder up on one, but I'll tell you what, looks a little bit dinged right now.
When we talk about the damage that these guys carry over throughout a tournament night, you get your bell rung like that, it's going to be hard to clear your head.
Well, indeed, that cracked skull on his mask might be real underneath as well after a couple of DDTs. Oh, the Diablo Buster, it worked for his partner earlier tonight.
Let's see if lightning strikes twice.
No, this time it doesn't. Reggie able to reach deep down inside and find a way out. Off the top rope, what's he got in mind here? Oh, that's it. Running of the Bulls, and it's done. Los Jesus with a major victory here tonight.
Now we see right there the Diablo Destroyer, but there it was, a running of the Bulls. You don't get up after that one.
Here is your winner.
Big victory indeed. We'll be back with more action in just a moment. Stay with us. All right, fans, our first of two semifinal matches.
The following contest is a championship tournament semi-finals match. Making his way to the ring from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
Aguila X. Big first round victory now here in the semifinals. A win here will put him in the championship match later tonight.
Well, we know somebody's going to win this thing. Now we know it's going to be one of four.
The odds definitely improving from 1 of 8 to 1 of 4.
And his opponent from Tijuana, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
As we take a look at La Corona getting ready to make his way down the ramp into the ring. And when you look at these two men in their earlier matches tonight, which one do you think might have taken less damage than the other?
I really don't think there's much to be doubted about it. I think clearly La Corona had the easier match. I was about to say he had an easy match. I'm saying easier. I think he took less damage in his. I think that probably gives him a little bit of an advantage moving into this match.
Not only that, but as injuries may mount in a tournament like this, that might make for quicker matches as well. For both of these athletes, it is the second time they have competed here tonight. Bell sounds and action underway as they meet right in the middle of the ring. La Corona throwing some heavy right hands immediately, and then the brain buster going for the cover. Thinks he might have it, and he might.
Aguila X had to really come out with something quickly. He's dazed.
Comes right back up with a launch drop kick, springboarding off the chest of La Corona. And now Aguila has him up. Powerbomb almost into the turnbuckle.
I'm not sure his head didn't strike one of those pads. Referee might want to check on him, make sure he's all right.
Aguila X now, though, that's a bad move right there, turning his back. And La Corona has him tied up in the ropes now, going to work on the left knee, using the ropes for added leverage. And there's the Irish whip. Oh, wow, he pulled him right back into that one.
Leg lariat, and he makes it look easy.
Aguila springboard into a moonsault that he just took out. La Corona follows it up with a big drop kick, and now the action going out to the floor.
Back and forth it goes. The action going both ways. And both men now hit the floor. Look at this.
Almost starting to become personal at this point in time. Oh, he turned it into a DDT.
Well, Aguila X may have had the tougher match earlier tonight, but I would say right now in this one, you can make an argument, but I would say this one right now, the man taking the majority of punishment is La Corona, especially here on the floor.
And once again, they have to be aware of the count as the referee continues. And it's Aguila X moving around. Neck breaker, perfectly executed right there. Shades of ravishing Rick Rude.
Comes up with a clothesline as well, and right now Aguila is just a one-man army. He wants the championship, and he's proving it.
Hurricane Run. Oh, wow, a springboard up the top rope to make that happen. Goes for the cover, hooks the leg, it's two. He put him away.
What can you say about Aguila X's performance here in this one?
That was one of the most impressive things that I have seen, ladies and
Here's
gentlemen.
your winner.
He has put himself into the championship match. Will it be enough for him to become the first ever Cruiserweight champion here at Ultra Pro? We'll find out very shortly. All right, Aguila X awaiting the winner of this match.
The following contest is a championship tournament semi-finals match. Making his way to the ring from Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
We get ready for the semifinal matchup as Americana back through the ropes. Tremendous opening match victory, and now looking to make it to the finals.
Shout out to Neil Hooper, William Weir joining us as well. Happy holidays, happy Easter, and welcome to the Nation Network.
And his opponent from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
Los Jesus through, I should say, over the top rope. His tag team partner came up short just moments ago, so the dream match of seeing the two of them in the finals not going to be something that happens here tonight.
Nobody's now representing for the family, and he definitely wants to make sure he's there at the end of the day.
Comes up with that big kick right to the head, and Americana early on. Caught with a series of shots now, and one to the midsection with that back kick. Los Jesus has proven time and time again he is very quick.
Very agile indeed, and that's something you're going to get in this division. That's normal behavior.
Sit out bomb, has the shoulders down, goes for the cover, gets one, gets two, and wow. Americana not exactly kicking out with any sort of authority or power in there, and he's looking dazed right now. It's hard to tell when you're wearing a mask, but the referee may want to get in there.
Well, we mentioned early on, Americana from the Lucha Libre world. He's grown up in Mexico, spent his life there, but right now he's having trouble with a countryman of his own.
Well, he definitely learned the ropes, literally, while in Mexico. Oh, the top, and he caught him! Los Jesus with some words. Oh, and he went for a sense on nobody home.
Americana now trying to turn things around a little bit here. Not sure exactly what was being said moments ago, but there are those that maybe don't take too kindly to Americana embracing America the way he has.
Well, you can't blame him for living in a country and earning a living here and finding out that he actually enjoys being there. I mean, don't know how you'd hold that against a man.
Nice roll through by Americana. Now he's going all the way up, and this could be big. Wants him on his feet. Missile drop kick connects.
Going for the cover, hook and a leg, gets one, gets two, and he almost put him away. Americana goes for the clothesline, not gonna connect, and instead takes a shot right to the small of the back, kidney area to be exact.
Tried to tie up, nobody was there. Jesus with a drop kick. My Spanish is really rusty, so even if I could tell you what they said earlier, I don't know. We are just presuming right now.
Irish whip into the turnbuckle. He goes, follows him up with a clothesline. Tornado DDT. Los Jesus connecting with that one. Springboard off, comes down with that moonsault, hook in the leg. Will that be enough? There's one, there's two. Shoulder off the mat.
Americana is in a lot of trouble right now.
Out to the floor he goes. Los Jesus hits the ropes. Suicida over the top, taking out Americana.
Crowd definitely getting into it.
Los Jesus made a mistake there. He's celebrating an awful lot for a guy who hasn't won anything yet. Catches him up. Cradle. Shoulders down. Referee got turned around.
Got turned around. Took a long time for her to get in position, and that might have been enough.
Los Jesus now back in control. Oh, we saw it before. Will we see it again? Diablo Destroyer. Goes up to the top, didn't attempt the pinfall. Cradle, hooks the ankles, 1, 2, and he kicked out.
More words being said right there, and I don't think Los Asos can believe that Americana is still in this match.
Deep arm drag took him all the way over. Shades of Ricky Steamboat. Oh, he just caught the referee accidentally with that back heel kick.
Distracted him for a moment as he checked on her, I think, to say, hey, it was an accident.
Americana, I'm not even sure he's aware of what just took place in the ring. Went for the drop kick off the top rope, nobody home. And instead there's a roll up. Referee having a hard time after being hit.
Yeah, she's definitely not exactly throwing down a fast 3 count. Still groggy from that heel kick that grazed her, it looked like, but hard to say. I mean, she was definitely knocked loopy for a moment.
Americana back in control. Los Asos rolled over, but he is in the corner right now. And he grabs the ropes. Referee catching that one. German suplex, and now Americana starting to turn the tempo of this one around.
I'll say this, whoever makes it to the finals out of these two, they were through a war here. Aguila X has got to be loving every minute of this.
Senton splash goes for the cover again. Shoulders are down. 1, 2.
Americana with a stiff shot. Oh, he caught him.
And now, what's going to happen from here? Americana wants him back up on his feet. Over the top. Oh, and he got him.
That twisting senton splash over the top rope.
Standing moonsault, and now Americana has his second win. He's going to need a lot more. Series of shots, and now an open chop to the chest, taking him down.
Americana now opening up on the head. Remember that this is the same guy who took that wicked DDT in the first round.
Americana knows he's got his man in trouble. Oh, he caught it! The Patriot missile! And the job is done! Americana, it took everything he had in him, but he makes it to the finals.
Easier said than done.
Here is your winner.
We now know who the finals will be. Who will be the first ever Cruiserweight champion here at Ultra Pro? We'll find out shortly. Stay with us.
You will never pin me. Now it's everybody's favorite time.
I see you made it. I'm happy you accepted my invitation. Why am I here? Direct. A man of few words that doesn't waste time. I like that. The reason you are here is because I know who you are. Oh, not just by name, no. You see, I do a lot of investigating before I take someone and make them the offer that I'm about to make you. And exactly what would that offer be? You're looking for a fight. Where you going? You'll find one. As many as you want, really. But that's where I come in. I don't need any help finding a fight. Oh, son, I will not be finding fights for you. You do that all by yourself, don't you? What I offer is clarity. I offer salvation. I offer a means to an end, a better one. You certainly don't need me to find trouble. I've read your file, sir. Yes, I have. No, what you need is what you don't have. And what exactly is that? Salvation. I offer you clarity, and above all else, protection. Protection. Protection from what? Yourself. In the book it says, for to set the mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the spirit is life and peace. For the mind that is set on the flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. The question is, will you? Will you allow me to show you the way? Brother. All right, fans, time for the finals. This is for the championship.
Is the final in the championship tournament and is for the World Cruiserweight Championship. Making his way to the ring from Gomez Palacio, Durango, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
As Aguila X stepping into the ring, knowing he is one match away, and I think we can both agree, he took a lot less damage heading into this match here tonight than his opponent.
No doubt about it, Americana has had an uphill battle to get here, but he has reached the summit. Now all he has to do is claim the prize.
And his opponent from Juarez, Chihuahua, Mexico, weighing in at 205 pounds.
Americana, a fan favorite by far, has had some great moments already here in the very short history of Ultra Pro.
Well, he was a part of the championship tournament. The Jungle Rumble did very well for himself considering. I mean, that's not a match made for a guy like him, but he did well.
There is the prize that these two men will be competing for. The Ultra Pro Wrestling Cruiserweight Championship. Referee calls for the bell, and this is the match we've been waiting for. Oh, he walked right into a power slam. Aguila X with a backhand chops lighting up the chest of Americana.
Aguila continues to work the chest. Nice move right there to come up with the drop kick.
Flying elbow right to the back of the neck. Turns him over, but he's very close to the ropes. I don't know if he does. Grabbing the bottom rope.
Very early into the match, the fact that he has to grab the rope and he couldn't kick out says something.
Aguila X springboard off the top. Oh, and he came up short. He missed.
Well, when you go high risk, there's a penalty you pay if you don't connect. And Aguila did not connect on that one.
Americana now trying to turn the tables here a little bit. Not a lot of rest between this and his last match, which is another big advantage right now, I would say, for Aguila.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be the better rested of the two right now.
There's a DDT on the floor, and Aguila is in trouble. Referee trying to get the action back in the ring, and they finally do.
Yeah, we don't want this decided by a countout or a disqualification. Let's make sure it takes place inside the squared circle.
Going for the cover. There's one. There's two. Aguila X nearly got caught with that one. Has the arm and the wrist tied up. From the top rope, comes down with an arm drag and slings him across the ring. Good timing right there by Aguila X. Wasn't home. Americana to the ropes. Back out front he comes. And there's a... Oh, what a corkscrew forearm that was.
Yeah, Americana's a little loopy right now, no doubt about it. Not sure where he is, I don't think.
Clothesline missed, and now Americana returning the favor. Comes up with a super kick to the jaw. Now Aguila X gonna have to come up with something. Irish whip into the turnbuckle he goes, and Americana following him in. Back elbow. Head scissor, nicely done.
Very traditional style of head scissor. Not just traditional in all wrestling, but also very traditional when it comes to the world of the Lucha Libre.
The sport of professional wrestling has evolved over the probably the last 2 decades more than ever in its history before. There's that 2 count. And it is really nice when we see people falling back on the basics, the founding, or the foundation, I should say, of professional wrestling as it was. And these 2 men really doing a great job of that. Swing and a miss, comes up with a return.
Americana right now has got the momentum in his favor. He's got to see if he can finish it with it.
Has him across the shoulders. And Aguila X saying, no, I don't think so. Clothesline into the turnbuckle, and now Aguila turns it around with a big DDT.
He feigned like he was going to go over the top, but I think he thought better of it, and that may have been the right move.
Oh, he's going out this time. Hurricane Rana all the way to the floor. Rams him into the steel post.
Americana right now is in a whole lot of trouble. He's going to have to figure something out and do it quickly or it'll be too late.
Once again, wishing a very happy Easter to everybody watching us here live on the Nation Network tonight. We've got Chuck in the house along with Judas El Terrible. Another hurricane runner. No, another head scissor. It's easier to say.
So much action happening in these matches when you have this lighter weight class. We talk about it all the time.
Oh, and speaking of quick action, Americana managed to get back up in time to meet The X-Man on the top rope. And now Aguila is in trouble.
Boy, oh boy, he keeps on coming up with them, though, does he not?
Indeed, springboard drop kick. We've seen him do that before, and he's had a lot of success with it. Now it's Americana's turn. Tilt-a-whirl slam. Americana now is waiting. What's he got in mind here? Oh, he just caught it. And we've got a champion to be crowned. Americana's got it done.
Well, he just came across and caught him.
History made right here on the Nation Network as we have crowned the first ever Cruiserweight champion in Ultra Pro Wrestling. And it is Americana.
What a great night for wrestling. What a great night for Ultra Pro, and what a great night for Americana.